Our Masters of Science program is a very new thing. It is just entering its second year. So we know that it's successful, but it's still very new. People are very excited about it. And it's really aimed at students who are very interested in philosophy, but also very interested in science.
The IHPST at the University of Toronto is a really unique place where we have a group of scholars focused on using the methods of the humanities to explore both science, technology, and medicine.
I think the history is a huge part in the philosophy of science.
The philosophy of science concentration at the master's level was a great opportunity for me to expand my philosophical horizons, better come to understand areas of philosophy that are relevant to science, and fill in some of the background that I hadn't quite had an opportunity to get at the undergraduate level because I'd been so focused on more technical study in physics and math directly. And so by jumping into this concentration in philosophy of science, I was able to start filling in some gaps and really broaden my understanding of philosophy as it exists and get exposed to a lot more ideas that I wasn't yet familiar with at a much deeper level.
I have a lot of fond memories teaching these classes where there's a really wide variety of students who are physics students, chemistry, biology, but also philosophy students, philosophy specialists, and so on. And the type of discussions that can emerge in this sort of more diverse student community is really fantastic.
I think it surprised me a lot how close the relationship is with the faculty, staff, and students.
I think there's a great deal of value for practicing scientists to get exposed to philosophy at a high level and to really concentrate on philosophical studies as well. A big reason for this is because when you're trained into the sciences, you learn to participate in a very rigid framework of inquiry.
One thing I would say is I think we're in a moment in the world and society where philosophy of science might have a helpful role to play beyond the role that it has traditionally played.
We use methods like historical methods and philosophical methods, as well as sometimes sociology and STS, or science and technology studies, to explore some of the assumptions and foundational questions around science, but also to try to understand the role of science and technology in society. So that includes trying to understand the local and global context in which science is taking place, and also some of the impacts that science and technology have on popular culture and political issues and ethical issues.
We see from logical positivism and all through analytic philosophy that there is a huge sharing of methodological approach and thinking about philosophical and scientific problems that has occurred over the past 100 or so years. And it's really nice to see that in a classroom environment as well.
The boundary between philosophy and science is something that has gone back and forth over the centuries since the scientific revolution. The nature of that relationship has been conceived and reconceived again.
Something else that I found really valuable about this department is that it's a very welcoming community. Everyone's very encouraging all the time. Professors are more than willing to give you time to interact with them and to bounce ideas off of them. And it's a very informal department as well. It's possible to have really human interactions with people frequently all the time, and I find it's a very flourishing environment in that respect.
I think the perfect applicant or candidate for this program is someone who is very curious and someone who maybe didn't know right off the bat that they were interested in philosophy. Maybe they even started in science, or maybe they all along knew that they were interested in both philosophy and science. But someone who has these different kinds of sets of interest, who is interested in science and interested in philosophy, and in particular, someone whose interests intersect.
Another thing that's really impressed me is this program is fully funded. So it's really kind of relieve my financial pressure to come here. I think those students who have the science backgrounds and have interest in philosophy, everyone should try.